Okay, and hello, welcome. It is April 1st, and I already got fooled. Totally got fooled. I saw that. I'll have to tell you this, Belinda, because I don't.
Well, I know there's something going on today because I have to tell you, like a little glitch. I couldn't get my phone to work coming onto this, so I'm going to have to go off and then go back on live. So there's a little April Fool in all of that. So hopefully that's okay too. But yeah, I kind of forgot it was April Fool's Day a little until after 12 o'clock. And then strange things started happening. And I was like, that's not cool that April Fool's is happening afternoon, because isn't that like the reverse thing?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know how your day is going.
It's interesting, but then once I realized that it was April Fool's Day, I was able to really laugh at the fact that I was so gullible and ready to believe that there were UFOs over Encinitas last night.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked actually if there wasn't. Especially what's happening now, like globally. I think there could be definitely like an intervention coming in for us, helping us.
That's what this is, a galactic intervention. I love that.
I think so. You know, it's funny because you say that and you joke about it, but I don't think it's actually a joke on some level.
Yeah.
Myself been sensing that, and I'll just say it clear, like the Archangels are here. And so for the last couple of weeks, actually before like all of this stuff that went to stay at home started happening, I started like sensing and feeling it, and I kind of put that off a little, and like that silly thought, right? Sometimes, but it's been so crystal clear now that I'm actually realizing that it's not a joke, that it is real. And I sometimes also joke or say that, you know, what's the difference between alien and angel? Really, what is it? We don't really know, do we? So I think there's like a, you know, like your alien thing is like there's a synchronization with my archangel thing. So if we look at it from that perspective too, like archangels are kind of like higher on the roster, if you will. So these could be very intelligent aliens coming in to teach humanity something.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, I think a lot of us are kind of waiting to see, is this when they appear? Like now that they have our attention? You never know. You never know. The universe is vast. It's huge. And I, for one, absolutely don't believe that that it could be possible we're the only intelligent beings in the entire universe. I think that is,
yeah, well, it
makes sense to me. But I understand that people have that view.
And then you said capture your attention. And somewhat now, the last couple of weeks, a lot of us have been captured in a space with our attention is kind of focused on something. So I don't know, there's, you know, it's always strange. I think there's a weird coincidence. You know, whatever you believe is good, I think too. I think it's all the same anyway. But I do think there's an intelligence that maybe is teaching us in all of this too. So that's good.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is a beautiful time. Like, if you think about it, when you take time to yourself and it's quiet, you have time to start to look at your life and what types of things need to change, or how do you really feel? Like, that was something I was just talking with Shelley Reef, our harp instructor. Is that I actually feel really good right now. I haven't had a lot of interaction with people, and I feel really healthy. I feel like I don't have a big weight on my shoulders. Right. And I think that might talk a little bit about energetic actions when you actually are around a bunch of people that you can take on their energies. I was just talking about that to Ashana's husband, James, about how important it is for energetic hygiene and how great it would be that, you know, we had a class on that.
Yeah, I think absolutely, for sure. I think most of that is energetic hygiene is about grounding our energy. It's actually, instead of us being caught up in the noosphere of thought and thinking and fear mongering, because that can happen too. And then when we're in this space, we're in our homes, we're a lot more grounded. So this sort of energetic clearing happens because our energy fields aren't blending and mixing with other energy fields, like on a physical, like almost physical layer, because we're not walking around, right? Our energy fields are mingling with everybody too, because on a galactic level, like we were talking about, but also being in the home, it is an energetic clearing, and we're not really, some of us may be a little bit conscious of it, but it's, even if you are conscious of it, I always say, do you really think about it all the time? Do you really put it out there? Like my energy should be, you know, great, so that I'm not susceptible to other energies kind of hanging around and hanging on me. And most of the time I think that we get captured in that place where our energy gets susceptible and it gets a little bit tarnished, if you will, is when we're not grounded. And so this is giving us this opportunity to ground ourselves, come back to the heart and back to the home, right? I
What
think
are some of your like your daily practices? Do you have a simple one that you can share with everyone that they can use?
Yeah, I think like since I was very young, and you know, everyone has like whatever their practice is, and their practice is perfect for them. Something that came very naturally to me. I was lucky, I grew up in South Africa. And then where I grew up in South Africa, we lived on a plot of land which had, you know, there weren't many houses around us. So we had, you know, animals, like small animals. We didn't have like lions where we lived. But we had like a horse, and we had goats, and we had birds and peacocks. So it was nature, it was my cleansing and my clearing. And so from that place of being in nature, I think that's for myself, my practice, my coming into myself, my being still. That's how I clear my energy field. That's how I become me again. To me, it's essential that we actually go out and we stand and be in nature. Nature herself is a great healer. So that's kind of on my practicing and my thoughts about that.
That's phenomenal. It's, you know, and that's something I think it's hard for a lot of us right now in the quarantine is how do we get out in nature? And we forget that if you're able to, even like we have a little yard, it's, you know, it's not a big yard at all, maybe 10 foot by 10. And just going outside with no shoes on and laying down in the grass, I could feel the earth's energy lines lining up with my own energy lines in my body, the meridian system, which is something that I really think is connected. The two of us, I think that the earth has the ley lines, and
Right.
those are directly related to and can be activated by the energy lines within our bodies.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know, right?
I know, it's like actually that should be education 101 in every school. Like that's what everybody should be taught from when we're tiny. So maybe like in kindergarten or preschool, or I'm not sure what you call it here specifically, but it's like kindergarten or preschool where you, you know, this is like education, it's like standing with your feet on the soils. This is so important. I remember in South Africa, there was one of the, like the Afrikaans kids in South Africa, they like the Dutch dialect, they would, during summer, always go to school barefoot. And I thought that was really interesting. And one of the reasons why they did it was because it would make their feet harder. So when we like had athletics, track and field, their feet were harder. But that thing about like us connecting to the soils, I think that helped them like be more grounded versus like us wearing shoes. And how many times do you think about going out in your garden and just like connecting to it? And then you have that little higher consciousness of it too, of connecting to these energetic ley lines, if you will. And I think they're valid, absolutely valid. It's you look at like ancient cultures where they've built great pyramids or created places for like altars and places for coming to bringing together, get energy together to generating energy, like sacred spaces. So I think that's really important, like being able to connect to that. And then I think we should teach our kids maybe from little babies.
Absolutely, absolutely. Which is what I did. You know, I've done that with my daughter from from her conception. Absolutely, just with chanting and toning and humming and all my different sound healing modalities that I've fallen in love with. As I'm so grateful that we've been along on this journey together. So it's 4 o'clock, so it's time. This was just, we didn't even get a chance to talk about your class, but this was all just in lead up to Belinda's 4 o'clock sound healing class called Sound Prayer, a Healing Soundscape. So if everybody would go over to our live and free sound healing classes Facebook page. If you haven't joined already, I'll accept you so you can enjoy Belinda's class. Have a great class, and I'll talk to you afterwards.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.
Yeah, so thanks again for tuning in. We're really excited. Belinda is just magical. As you can see, she's always been such a treat. So please go on over to our Facebook Live and Free Sound Healing Classes page. I'll make sure that you get in and you can enjoy an afternoon of wonder and bliss with Belinda Pearl.